When the day began, Annika Sorenstam, playing in her first event of 2003, had a 2-shot lead over Patricia Mounier-Lebuc and a 3-shot advantage over 3 other players, including Se Ri Pak. So far today, Annika with nothing but pars on the front side. But Se Ri Pak, Judy Rankin, got off to a terrific start. This for birdie at the first.
She had to go to the first tee thinking that was the kind of start she needed.
So Se Ri Pak with the birdie at the par 4 first, and then on to the par 3 second.
154 yards and 2 very good strokes to start the day.
And Pak would move to 17 under. On to the 4th. This is a par 5, 511 yards, her second shot. And she'd really not taken advantage of the par 5s during the first 3 days, just 6 under in those 3 rounds. But what about this second shot?
Boy, she did right here. Conditions are perfect to reach this hole in 2. She took it up and over the trees. Beautiful shot.
And the eagle there for Se Ri would move her to 19 under. A bogey at the 6 drops her back to 18, but then another eagle opportunity at the short par 5 8th, which has been the easiest hole this weekend. How often do you see that? 2 eagles on one side, and Se Ri Pak moves to 20 under. Then on to the 9th, the par 4, this her second.
Take the ball from the tee alongside water at the left and then over water to the green.
And Se Ri Pak would make a birdie at 9. She would go out in 6 under 30. 10 wins over the last 2 years for Se Ri Pak. And this just a moment ago at the par 5 10th. This for birdie. Major champion winner in each of the last 2 years, 4 majors in her very young LPGA career. She would make that for her par. And Se Ri Pak 6 under on her round today at 21 under and holding a 3-shot advantage over Patricia Mounier-Lebuc. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, and the LPGA welcome you to the final round coverage of the Safeway PING presented by Yoplait. Well, downtown Phoenix, just to the south of Moon Valley Country Club, the 24th lane of the Safeway PING presented by Yoplait. And some great moments through the years here at Moon Valley Country Club. We've seen some exciting golf. We've got more great golf coming your way this afternoon in the final round. Safeway PING presented by Yoplait, a $1 million event, $150,000 to the winner. And a beautiful day, temperature 78 degrees, sunny skies, and just a bit of a breeze. There's that prize money. $1 million total first, and the winner received $150,000. And hi, everybody. Along with Judy Rankin, I'm Roger Twibell. Before this season began, Se Ri Pak, Judy said she wanted to be the #1 player in golf.
You know, the season didn't start exactly right for her. She missed the cut last week. She said she missed the cut because she couldn't hit a fairway. She drove to Phoenix. She flew to San Diego to work on getting a new driver, and I would say she got a pretty good one.
Oh, absolutely. And she got somebody's attention very early today, didn't she?
Yep. You know, anybody who's behind Annika Sorenstam, everybody who's behind Annika Sorenstam knows you have to go low because you do not expect her to make any mistakes. So Se Ri is the one who has taken up the challenge today. What a great front 9 she played. Shoots 30, and I am betting Annika Sorenstam watched it all the way on the leaderboard.
Last year, Annika Sorenstam had a 4-shot lead heading into the final round, shot 76 on Sunday, lost in the playoff to Rachel Teskey. Had the 2-shot advantage today, 3 over Se Ri Pak and a couple of other players. But this was a day, some pressure on the players because the scoring has been so good this week. They know that when they teed it up today, they had to shoot a really good score.
Absolutely, and Annika is one of those people that knows even though she has the lead, there are so many low scores available and so many good players right behind her on the leaderboard that there was still pressure on her to shoot a low number. I would think in her mind she thought, you know, the worst she could shoot and be semi-comfortable, and maybe not even then would be 68. So it's a tough day for Annika Sorenstam. This is her first competitive start of the year.
Well, the good news is she's played the backside better than anybody else in the field this week. She's been 10 under on the backside in the first 3 rounds.
And I will be surprised if we don't see her play the backside really, really firing.
Se Ri Pak
the 11th, par 3, 152 yards. As Judy mentioned, not happy with her driver, and so went over, did a bunch of testing, got a brand new club, and obviously paying dividends here this week.
.152 yards at 11.
Terrific shot. Well, that's been the story so far today. Just some great iron play. At the 10th, this is Grace Park. At the par 5. And Alice Ritzman's out there.
And this is from 237, Roger. And that looks really good.
Oh, it gets a very good bounce. Look at how this golf shot will track over towards that hole.
She comes off of a birdie at the 9th hole, turned in 34. Par is 36-36.
Se Ri Pak at 6 under on her round. Sorenstam even par. Laura Davies, Dorothy Dellison both at 4 under today. Mounier Lebuc, a little bit of a slow start, but a couple of birdies there before making the turn. Par 72, Judy, 6,473 yards.
The greens were rebuilt, redone a couple of years ago. A couple more have been redone again for this year. This golf course in beautiful, beautiful condition. The greens could not be better.
Some rains early in the week, but we've had nothing but bright sunshine since Wednesday here at Moon Valley Country Club, where Se Ri Pak has a 3-shot advantage in the final round. Out at the 10th, the par 5, Grace Park has this for eagle.
She just needs to run it up over this little ridge that's about halfway in between her and the hole, and then let it trickle down.
She has putted beautiful this week, just 77 putts in the previous 3 rounds, and she'll have that for birdie. And this was earlier Kari Webb for eagle. Kari 2 over on the front side. She began the day at 15 under and 3 off the lead of Annika Sorenstam. To the 11th. Se Ri Pak taking a look at this birdie putt. Judy, the trees there, the shadows encompassing that hole location at the 11th.
Well, you're better off if it's completely covered than you are if it's partially in the sunshine, partially not.
Se Ri Pak has been second on the money list 3 of her previous 5 years, her first 5 years on the LPGA Tour. Had another great year last year with 5 victories. Just to go to 22 under, just runs it by. As we move to Annika Sorenstam at the 10th, and Charlie Reimer's out there.
Well, thank you, Roger. Annika hit a perfect tee shot here at this par 5. She's got 232 yards to the hole. This is a green to the right.
Annika Sorenstam, playing with the lead, has held the outright lead entering the final round 31 times in her career, including this week. 20 victories, including the win here a couple of years ago, and second place 8 times. Of course, 2 years ago, Judy, we remember Se Ri Pak really played some terrific golf on the weekend, was right in contention on Sunday, and those 2 players that week, 27 under and 25 under.
And they separated themselves from the field.
Out at 11 for birdie, Hee Won Han. She now moves to 17 under and 4 under on this final round. Hee Won Han, young lady, Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. Pearl Sinvanati with us this week following Se Ri Pak and Hee Won Han. Charlie Reimer with Annika Sorenstam and Patricia Mounier Lebuc. Alice Ritzman following Grace Park and Kari Webb. great week of weather here in Phoenix, and the scoring indicative of nearly perfect conditions. Se Ri Pak with a 3-shot advantage over 3 players here in the final round. Now, out at the 10th, this just a moment ago, the 3rd for Patricia Mounier-Lebuc.
It's a little wedge from 61 yards. Very little green to work with. Good looking golf shot.
Mounier-Lebuc, 5-time winner on the European Tour, got her first LPGA win last year. As we move to 11, Grace Park at the par 3.
And that's an 8-iron. Just at the hole.
Terrific shot there. So Grace Park, birdies at 9 and 10. Will try to make it 3 in a row at 11. Annika, her 3rd at the par 5 10th.
She's choosing to putt it from off the green. A little surprised. She chips it. She could take a lot of break out of this play.
Annika will have that for birdie. 9 consecutive pars on the front side for Annika Sorenstam. At the 12th, 394-yard par 4. 2nd for Se Ri Pak.
Se Ri has 126 yards to the pin. She is in a little old divot. It shouldn't really affect her shot here. She has a wedge in her hand, and the green is wide open to her.
She hits down and through shots so well that unless you just get a horrendous lie, a little sand-filled or shallow divot, not a big problem at all.
Another terrific iron shot by Se Ri Pak. Annika Sorenstam is for birdie at the 10th.
And Judy, she just hasn't taken advantage of her length today on the par 5s.
No, the 2 par 5s on the front 9 really there for the taking. This is the toughest of the 4 5s.
Annika Sorenstam, her first birdie of the day at the par 5 10th. That moves her to 19 under and 2 off the lead of Se Ri Pak. Grace Park for birdie at 11.
Just 4.5 feet. I think Grace's putting has been much better this week. Much more, you know, of what she was hoping for at the beginning of the year.
Got off to a pretty good start last week. 4th place finish in Tucson, and rolls that putt in right there. So Grace Park with 3 consecutive birdies to move to 19 under, and joining Sorenstam 2 back of Se Ri Pak. And a moment ago, this was Patricia Mounier-Lebuc for birdie at 10.
Not much fun when you know you've missed it immediately upon impact.
Mounier-Lebuc, 2 under on a round today, and 3 off the lead of Se Ri Pak here in the final round of the Safeway Ping, presented by Yoplait. As we go out to the 11th, Annika Sorenstam.
This 11th hole playing 152 yards today. That's a 9-iron and a good looking golf shot.
That's beauty, Charlie. She's giving herself a real good birdie chance. At 12, Se Ri Pak for birdie.
Pak has about an 8-foot putt. It should break a little right to left. Her putting stroke has been much better today compared to yesterday.
Se Ri Pak will tap that in for her par. Remain at 21 under.
25 years old. Her career started with the big U.S. Open win.
At the 11th.
Mounier-Lebuc, this an 8-iron. Good line, but it's got to carry.
Just, Charlie.
It turns into a beauty. Well played.
Good result right there for Patricia Mounier-Lebuc. The scoring today on the far right-hand side. Se Ri Pak at 6 under. Hee-Won Han, Laura Davies, Dorothy Dellison, all 4 under on their round today. Rookie Lorena Ochoa. Michelle Redmond equals the low round of the week, 8 under 64. Christy Kerr at 6 under. Stacy Pramanasu, young lady, a rookie on the tour out of Enid, Oklahoma, and Tulsa University with a terrific final round. Judy?
65. And that 65 included a bogey. We have got a great rookie class in women's golf this year.
Yeah. That's fine.
And now Kari Webb is ready for her second shot at the 12th hole. She has 125 yards left to the hole, and it's located in a little bowl over on the left side of the green. Should be a perfect pitching wedge for Kari. And that was not the perfect shot, but it may work out. Just a little left of the green in the fringe.
Now, take a look at the U.S. international victories per year, Judy, going back to 1996.
Pretty much of a global game. It certainly has become that. In the early 90s, international players really started coming to this tour in big numbers, and you can see what's happened.
Last week, the Australian Wendy Doolan winning in Tucson. Grace Park out at 12.
And just with a little bit of an awkward lie, feet a little bit above the ball. 120 yards to the hole. Just gripping down a little bit on a pitching wedge for Grace.
3 victories in her young LPGA career. Attended high school here in the area and played her college golf at Arizona State, and won't be happy with that result. She's always struggled here at this event. Best finish ever is a tie for 18th, and earlier Patricia Mounier-Lebuc for birdie at 11. Won the State Farm Classic last year, her first LPGA victory.
Multiple winner on the European Tour.
Annika Sorenstam with a great opportunity right here for birdie. This would move her to within 1 of our leader, Se Ri Pak.
Yes, Roger, this is a very makeable birdie putt here. Just maybe split the left edge of the hole.
So, missed opportunity right there for Annika. Sorenstam, 88 putts in the first 3 rounds. Has driven the ball, her average this week over 285 yards. And Judy, we come back, you have an interesting note about Annika Sorenstam and the birdies she's made this week and the clubs that she has hit into the greens. I think the people will find that interesting. We'll talk about it when we come back here to Moon Valley. Out at the 12th, just a moment ago, tee shot for Annika Sorenstam.
And that's going to be up the right center of the fairway. Good tee shot.
394-yard par 4. Leaderboard here in the final round. Se Ri Pak by 2 over Grace Park and Annika Sorenstam. Patricia Mounier-Lebuc 3 back, and then Hee-Won Han. Laura Davies Good to see her playing some quality golf at 15 under, along with Dorothy Dellison and the rookie Lorena Ochoa. Michelle Redmond, low round of the day so far. Out at the 12th, Grace Park, long birdie opportunity.
Just slightly uphill from a little over 25 feet.
Well, that's a terrific effort right there. It's indicative of the way she has been performing on the greens this week. Great putting week. And out at 13, Lorena Ochoa, who's wearing our ESPN microphone today.
Maybe a go here at the green at the par 5.
4 under on her round today. Shot 64 yesterday. And a terrific young talent.
She's going to have to be a terrific putter right there, Raj.
To the 12th. Patricia Mounier-Labouc.
That's up the right side, headed towards the fairway bunker.
And right now we'd like to welcome LPGA Commissioner Ty Vota to our broadcast position. Ty, good to see you.
Good to be with you, Roger.
Well, we've seen some great golf so far here this week, and we just saw a young lady, Lorena Ochoa, I think indicative of a very, very strong rookie class this year.
We've the pipeline has been getting filled up the past couple of years, and certainly this year's rookie class is going to be one of the strongest we've seen in a number of years. And we're looking forward to a great 2003. We've had a great week this week with our friends at Safeway and at Ping, and everybody here is excited about our upcoming year.
Ty, just a word about the Ping family here, because it has a lot to do with why so many players, the best players, come to this tournament. Of course, they use this tournament too to prepare for the first major championship of the season next week. But the Ping company, the Solheim family, has been very good to women's golf, and I think players appreciate that and show that by being here and playing every year.
This is one of the, if not the strongest field of the year. It's one of the strongest, and it's a testament to the Solheim family and what they've done for women's golf and the LPGA for the past 25 plus years.
Out at the 12th, the second for Annika Sorenstam.
This is a 9-iron, Roger, almost identical yardage that she had on the last hole, 151 yards. Good solid play.
Well, Ty, having several months off doesn't seem to bother her game at all.
No, it does not. And she, I know she's worked very hard over the off season, and she's continuing to work hard in preparation for not only the 2003 year, but certainly her cameo appearance on the PGA Tour event.
I'm curious, Ty, and even Judy, the off-season this year, considerable off-season on the LPGA Tour. I've talked to a few players that have thoroughly enjoyed it. Other players have found ways to keep playing golf. Ty, your thoughts on that?
Well, every sport has an off-season, and certainly the economy and our own strategic direction and some attrition has contributed to perhaps a little bit longer off-season in both January and February than we otherwise would like to see. And I think we're going to work hard to make sure that we start our year a little earlier. I think taking the month of January off is the right thing strategically for us to do, but I think we can try to find other ways in which we can start our year maybe late February and not have as much of an off-season. But I think also it brings a quality field and our brand promise, which is the best of women's professional golf, to our tournaments throughout the rest of the year when we have that kind of an off-season.
Judy, any thoughts on that?
Well, I just think, you know, one of the key things is every tournament, and I think sponsors would agree with this, want a large number of the best players in the field. And if the tour is exactly the right number of events, you're going to be able to deal with that every week of the year. And as Ty said, it's your word. That's what you tell sponsors you're going to do, and you want to be able to live up to it.
We mentioned Lorena Ochoa. We had a chance to visit with her yesterday. She's a very, she's just got that little, Judy said, a little sparkle in her eye, you know, and just personality and a lot of golf game too.
A lot of golf game, and I think she's bringing a real excitement to our tour and bringing a new audience base with coming from Mexico and being a premier athlete from Mexico and that generation of interest from that country.
We've seen there's been a camera crew here this week, and there's obviously a lot of excitement in that country about this young lady from Guadalajara, and played her college golf at Arizona. She's just one of a number of good young players that have now move from the Futures Tour onto the LPGA Tour.
Futures Tour is an increasingly important part of our filling the pipeline to the LPGA, and we increased the number of cards this week from 3, the top 3 on the money list of the Futures Tour, to 5. And she was the leading money winner last year on the Futures Tour, as was Beth Bauer a couple of years ago, Grace Park before that. And I think it's going to be an increasingly important part of how we bring the very best of women's professional golf onto the LPGA Tour.
This is a long putt, Judy, here for Eagle.
Yeah, as we watch his long putt, Beth Bauer, last year's Rookie of the Year, was very disappointed when she did not make it to the tour through the qualifying school. But in the end, she said playing on the Futures Tour was a great experience for her and really helped to prepare her for the LPGA Tour. So, good addition.
Thank you.
Ty, there are 6 events before Colonial for Annika Sorenstam on the LPGA Tour if he chooses to play all of them. Is there any downside to Annika playing that event at Colonial?
If there is, I don't see it. It's negligible. I think the fact that she has brought this much attention to the LPGA, the fact that this week we've seen 21 years in Phoenix. This is the largest attendance we've had in Phoenix in 21 years. We've been told concessions have been through the roof. She didn't play last week in Tucson, but she's playing certainly the next 3 weeks. And I think the fan awareness that's coming out is not only going to be seeing Annika, but seeing people like Se Ri Pak, Challenger, and the rest of this Quality Field Challenger. And that's only going to be good for the LPGA and women's golf.
Ty, we appreciate you dropping by. Best of luck this year.
We're looking forward to a great year on the State Farm series on ESPN and ESPN2, and we thank you for all you folks do for us.
Great, our pleasure. Out at 12, the third for Mounier Lebuc.
And this is going to be a very quick birdie effort. She can just touch this, and this ball will easily roll all the way down to the hole.
Oh, yeah, a lot of speed there, Charlie.
A lot of slope in these greens, and if you get on the wrong side of the hole, you can catch some very difficult putts out here.
Well, Judy, let's take a look at this.
Well, I think she knew early on that this was going to do nothing but pick up speed. She has a very confident-looking golf swing and not the same look with the putter in her hand.
From Dijon, France, her husband, Anton, is a golf professional. As we move to 13, and Lorena Ochoa, this for birdie.
Good two-putt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now it's 16 under, Lorena Ochoa. Back to 12. This is a par putt for Patricia.
And that'll be her first bogey of the day.
You know, she went along very well yesterday and then missed a couple of shortish putts, and I don't think she completely recovered from that, even though there was a great birdie at the final hole.
Out to the par 5 13th, and the second for Se Ri Pak.
Se Ri has 244 yards to the pin, but with this pin cut extreme right, she's going to have to take it to the left side of the green and avoid that bunker that's guarding the flag.
That's a very, very good play. She didn't try to get too cute. She wasn't in a position to really go for the flagstick. Let the green feed the ball just a little bit, and a long two-putt, but 2 putts for birdie.
Well, and the last par 5 here at Moon Valley is this 13th hole, so I want to take advantage of that opportunity. Annika Sorenstam, this putt for birdie, this to move to within 1.
And this is a putt she's going to have to be careful with. Very quick and quite a bit of movement from right to left.
Just never took the break.
That is last year's putter model, but a new version of it. I think I'd have been a little hesitant to change.
Right. Last year, that particular model, a white-faced insert. This year, a black-faced insert. in that particular.
Certainly
putter.
thus far, this being the first week that we've seen Annika play, she appears to be more confident with the putter, and she appears to be more consistent with the putter. If that should hold true throughout the season, look out.
One thing for sure, she is hitting the ball farther than anybody else on this tour. This week, averaging better than 12 yards farther than the next closest player, which would be Kari Webb.
And she has maintained her accuracy.
So the par there for Annika Sorenstam. So Sorenstam and Grace Park, two back of our leader Se Ri Pak here in the final round. Two years ago at Moon Valley Country Club, Annika Sorenstam was making golf history. During her second round, the superstar from Sweden came out quickly, birdieing her first 8 holes. Her irons were just as accurate, and suddenly breaking 60 was a possibility, something no other woman has done in tournament golf. At the finishing hole, Annika dropped the final putt for a 59.
Yeah, baby.
And during the week, Sorenstam went on to break or tie 6 LPGA records. Annika Sorenstam misses 59. Our leader, Se Ri Pak, at the par 5 13th, has a eagle opportunity, and Judy, she has taken very good advantage of the par 5s here at Moon Valley Country Club, particularly on the front side. Starting at the 4th hole, this 511-yard par 5. This is her second.
She was able to hug the left side off the tee, then she took it over the trees to the green. Hole 35 paces deep in the green, and she almost nestled the ball up right next to the hole.
That after birdies at 1 and 2, and then this at the 8th. This is the easiest hole in the golf course. This 476 yards. This eagle putt right there. Se Ri Pak would also make a birdie at 9. She would shoot 630 on the front. So this for her 3rd eagle of the day.
Roger, Se Ri has a very difficult putt for an eagle. She has a ridge about halfway. It's uphill at first, and then it goes away from her. A little left to right at first, and then a right to left break at the end. You get all that.
Up and over and a double break.
Yeah, exactly.
Pearl, has there been anything about this part of Se Ri's game that you've noticed over the last couple of years that's changed?
Well, I know she's been working really hard on her putting. It does seem like she's, trying to still figure it out a little bit. Yesterday she looked a little timid. Today she's, much more aggressive, and obviously the putts are dropping for her. But I know she works really hard at this part of the game. Downhill after the ridge.
Se Ri will have that for birdie. And earlier this was Hwan Han for eagle.
She had a similar putt as predicament as Se Ri.
Very, very good effort right there.
Beautiful
so
putt.
She would make her birdie there to move to 18 under and 5 under on her round today, and just 3 off the lead. Se Ri Pak, if she could negotiate this putt in, would move her advantage to 3 over Sorenstam and Grace Park.
Se Ri has a pretty straightforward putt here. It's straight uphill. It shouldn't do too much. The only thing is, it's in one of those, in between distances, about 6-7 feet. She just needs to put a solid stroke on it.
it never hurts that you have been putting well all day. You just have a feel for the putter. You don't think about missing, you think about making.
She definitely has an attitude today of making everything.
Well done. Se Ri Pak, the birdie at the par 5 13th. So she has played the par 5s today 5 under after having been just 6 under on the par 5s in the 3 previous rounds. At 14, Lorena Ochoa is for birdie. Some more on Lorena Ochoa from Lorena.
My name is Lorena Ochoa and I'm 21 years old. I am a rookie on the LPGA. I am from Guadalajara, Mexico. I went to the University of Arizona. I won 3 times on the Futures Tour. When I'm not golfing, I like to do outdoor sports very much. The best part of my game is bunker shots. My role models are my family. My goal is to be #1 in the world. I look forward to my rookie season on the LPGA.
Some pretty good goals she's got right there. Played her college golf, University of Arizona, had 8 consecutive wins in the 2001-2002 season. 2-time Player of the Year in the NCAA. And last year at Tucson, finished tied for 5th. Had a top 20 finish there last week. And first on the Futures Tour this past year to move right on to the LPGA Tour.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that she has a bright future ahead of her, but I think that that bright future is going to start very quickly. I don't think there's going to be a learning process or a getting comfortable time in professional golf. I think she's here.
For her par. And currently in 6th place. To the tee at 14, Se Ri Pak.
Most players are hitting fairway woods off those tees.
Well, she went with the driver, Pearl.
Oh, she did. I'm sorry, I'm standing here in the middle of the fairway.
Well, most players have hit fairway woods off the tee. You're absolutely right.
And that
found that bunker.
Yeah, that just does reach that bunker. This 14th has been the most difficult hole this week. Well, the Players' Championship coming your way Thursday and Friday on ESPN. Coverage at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Also, SportsCenter Players' Championship at 11:30 Eastern time. And then more golf coming your way. The first major of the year on the LPGA Tour on ESPN2 Thursday and Friday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific time. The Kraft Nabisco Championship. Annika will defend. Grace Park at 13, her second.
With a 5-wood. Just 195 yards to the front, but it looks like she's trying to carry everything over on that right side. And just a little short.
Se Ri Pak at 22 under and 7 under on her round today with a 3-shot advantage here in the final round over Annika Sorenstam and Grace Park. Tee shot at the par 5 for Annika Sorenstam. Has birdied this hole the 3 previous days.
And that is headed right. It's going to get well into the right rough.
Please.
And it's gone across the cart path over there.
She fought that right shot a little bit in the first round, but not to this degree, and straightened it out quickly.
Se Ri Pak at 7 under and a 3-shot advantage. And with more on the 15th hole, here's Pearl.
The 15th hole is a par 3 playing at 182 yards today. This simple-looking hole is playing much tougher than it appears, mainly because of this expansive green, some 43 yards in depth.
and a big slope from back to the front of the green. With it pin tucked way back left today, I look for players to hit it in the middle of the green, maybe with a slight draw to have a good look at a birdie.
And the 15th, saw how it played right there, is Lorena Ochoa.
182 yards with that whole location in the back.
At 14, Se Ri Pak, her second.
She had a really difficult lie with a piece of grass in front of her, a downhill lie. Very difficult to control the spin and distance from that lie.
And that is found that grass depression behind the green. 14 is one of the new greens here, Judy.
It is. 14, 15, and 18 are new greens. The old green was actually a pretty good green and a tough little green as it was, but the new green has this little cloverleaf shamrock look to it. It is still pretty firm because it is quite new. And I like the way they manicure around the greens. I mean, there is not rough right at the green's edge to hold the ball. The ball runs off the green. The ball can find rough near the green, but you can make a lot of choices for what kind of shot to play, and you can be forced to play certain kind of shots.
At the 13th, this a moment ago at the par 5, third shot for Grace Park. So Grace 4 under on her round today and 3 off the lead. It's having her best tournament ever here at the Safeway PING. She said she was going to treat it like an out-of-town event, Judy?
An away game.
Yeah, an away game.
That's
there you
right.
go. Yeah.
She said she gets too distracted by too many friends and people who wish her well and people she'd like to play well in front of and so on. So she said she was going to try to pretend that she was somewhere other than at home. Then she said, last night, I am going to play really aggressively today. The only thing I know to do is go for everything.
3-time winner in her LPGA career. It's just her 4th year out on tour.
Beautiful ball striker. Her putting has been a little suspect even back to her amateur days, but it has been really strong this week.
And she's had a great short game this week. 5 out of 7 conversions, sand saves.
Now this putt from about 12 feet downhill should have a little speed to it. Should break a little to her left.
How about that, huh? I guess the short game's been pretty good.
Alice, I don't know that I've ever seen Grace's putter look so good.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier, Judy. I think if her putting ever catches up to the rest of her game, we've got somebody else to give Annika some trouble.
So 2 back now of this lady, Se Ri Pak, getting ready to play her 3rd.
This is a very, very difficult shot. She has a couple of choices, either bumping, running it, or carrying this little hump in front of her, about 10 feet in front of her. She's chosen the sand wedge route. And doesn't quite catch it clean. She had a very, very tight lie.
Well, I thought she picked the tougher of the 2 choices, Pearl.
I think so. I would have thought maybe she might have taken a fairway wood out or something and just, hit it like a putt.
It has been tough to hold this green this week, and then the shots around the green are very, very difficult.
Annika Sorenstam out at the par 5.
Well, that's a 7 wood, and that's very well played there. That's going to be up towards the front left part of the green. Really all she had from there.
She has just hit the ball off the tee. That's not indicative of the way that she has hit her tee shots this week. But Judy, she hasn't really had to hit too much into the greens this week to take advantage of this golf course.
No, she hasn't. If you just look at Friday and Saturday's round, there were 16 birdies from Annika Sorenstam. 4 of them were sand wedges, 3 were pitching wedges, 9 irons, 2 putts at par 5s, up and downs around edges. We would all love to drive it like that.
Absolutely. Sunday here in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona. Final round of the Safeway PING presented by Yoplait. We're at Moon Valley Country Club. Temperature near 80 degrees at final round coverage. And we've had some exciting golf so far today. Se Ri Pak in the lead at the moment, along with Judy Rankin. I'm Roger Kleinbell, Charlie Riley, Alan Pearl Cincinnati on the golf course. The final round of this second event of the 2003 season. Turn to someone you already know to talk about your family's financial dreams. State Farm, providing insurance and financial services like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. State Farm series of events this year. Se Ri Pak, this for par out at 14.
She has a double breaker, a little downhill putt. She really put herself in a bad predicament just by making that little mental error from the tee.
And has some work coming back for bogey there.
I agree with you, Pearl. It was a mental error. No reason for Se Ri Pak to hit a driver from the tee.
On the tee at 14, Grace Park.
Back, Grace.
Grace using new equipment this year. Made the change not too long ago. Se Ri for bogey.
Just a straight uphill putt, I believe.
Yes. So Se Ri Pak drops a shot there at 14 and falls back to 21 under. And now Grace Park just one back and Annika Sorenstam two back of our leader as we go out to Annika for her third at 13.
And this is a very difficult pitch. If she takes it in there low, it's going to kick abruptly to the left. If she tries to take it in there high, she's got to land it on a downslope. I'm going to tell you what, if she can get this within 15 feet of the hole, she's played a really good golf shot.
Sorenstam will have that for birdie. We'll move to the tee at 15. Se Ri Pak at this par 3.
182 yards. There's virtually no wind out here. She's hitting a 6-iron. She just wants to take it to the middle of the green and with a slight draw.
Now that's a really good shot, and the other golf ball you see there belongs to Hee-Won Han, who is now just 3 back and with a really terrific golf shot by this young lady.
Well, this hole sets up perfect for her because she does hit a little right to left. She has the advantage of getting a little more release than Se Ri does.
Well, she had a terrific year last year. 7 top 10s, Judy, including 3 second-place finishes and lost in playoff at the Safeway Big Apple Classic.
And it came off of her 2001 season when she was the Rookie of the Year and qualified 11 times on the LPGA Tour.
Grace Park second at 14.
With her 54-degree wedge. And just a little short.
In compliment to the LPGA Tour, members of the LPGA T and CP division are LPGA's grassroots ambassadors for the game of golf, introducing new golfers to the game. Founded in 1959, the LPGA Teaching and Club Professional Division has established itself as the industry leader in golf education and instruction. Time now for the State Farm Performance Tip with LPGA Teaching and Club Professional member Kathy Murphy.
A chip shot can be described as a putt with a flying start. Gail Truitt from the Arizona State women's golf team is going to demonstrate what I mean by this. When you take your hold of the club, move your hands down near the bottom of the handle and bring the shaft more vertical like your putter. Now it's very easy to make a straight back, straight through motion, and the loft of the club will launch the ball into the air and roll it towards the hole. This is a 9-iron being used for a shorter chip shot. You ready, Gail?
Sure.
That's good. Let's do one more. And this time, we'll make one little adjustment. Let's move the handle forward just a little bit, maybe feel a little more weight on your forward foot, and ready to go. Good shot. Now, if we want to go to a longer hole, we take a less lofted club, such as a 7-iron, set up the same way, make a nice straight back, straight through putting stroke. And again, the loft of the golf club will go ahead and launch the ball into the air, and it'll roll just like a putt to that far hole. That is beautiful. It's going in. Hey, nice shot.
Thank you.
And you too can hold your chip shots if you chip like you putt.
For more on the State Farm Performance Tip, log on to LPGA.com.
At 15, our leader, Se Ri Pak, for birdie.
Se Ri has a 20-foot straight up, a little left to right uphill putt. Just came out of that putt.
So Se Ri Pak, who took great advantage of the front side, 6 under 30 on the front. Is currently even on the back. Annika Sorenstam, this for birdie at 13. Pretty aggressive stroke right there. And earlier, Patricia Mounier-Labouc, long birdie putt.
She got into trouble off the tee, Roger. Advanced her second down the fairway and hit her third to that point.
Tap that in for her par. And Annika for her par putt. So Annika Sorenstam, 19 under, 1 under. Judy on this final round. At the 16th, Lorena Ochoa.
Ah.
At just a moment ago, at the par 4. Golf ball there.
Thank you.
His second shot of Beth Daniel.
And that is really an interesting pairing. You have this gonna be great rookie and the great veteran, Beth Daniel. Beth Daniel playing very well this week. She is 15 under par for the tournament.
Lorena Ochoa for birdie. Yes!
Thank you.
I tell you, she's very young. She's got a lot of fire about her, but she is very professional. It's almost as though she's been there before.
Brother caddying for this week, and today's round 6 under, 8 under 64 yesterday. Some kind of weekend, Judy, for Lorena Ochoa. Grace Park for birdie.
This to go into the lead or a share of the lead, and really good stroke again.
So Grace Park will have that over par. Se Ri Pak, her lead just 1 in the final round.
I've only flown over.
Oh, you need to go there. Se Ri Pak at 16.
She's hitting a driver. Should be down the left side.
Judy, you hold the finish that long, you usually like it, don't you?
Yeah, and you know what else you have? You have great balance.
And here's a closer look at the hole with Alice.
At 414 yards, the 16th hole at Moon Valley Country Club is the longest par 4 on the golf course and traditionally has been one of the hardest. Not so this year, as favorable conditions have produced some massive drives and the shorter iron approaches have resulted in more birdies than bogeys. With today's hole located in the middle left, putts will be much easier to read from the front of the green than they will be from behind the hole.
At the 15th, this is Grace Park at the par 3.
With a 6-iron. That's starting a little bit left. Just needs to get a little bit of a lucky bounce.
Well, too much of a bounce.
Yeah, it went in the right direction, but she will have to play from several feet over the back of the green. Might be able to putt it.
At 14, Patricia Meunier-Lebuc.
Well, Patricia mishit her tee shot here a little bit. This 361-yard par 4. She's going to be left with 39 yards to the hole. This green is one of the firmest in the golf course. It really sits up high, dries out quickly.
1 under on her final round. Began the day 2 back of Sorenstam. Se Ri Pak began the day 3 back along with Grace Park and Kari Webb. Webb just not able to get anything going today. Kari's 3 over on her round. This is the second for Meunier-Lebuc.
Well, you see some of the reasons that this has been the hardest hole on the golf course, even though on the scorecard, and actually when you play it, it's a little hole. It's a short hole.
Charlie, did someone hit a large drive there?
Yes, she did, Roger. She's only got 64 yards to the hole, and let me tell you what, there's not many divots in this area.
An L wedge will take care of this green, won't it?
Well, it'll sure help. Just a little past this hole, and it'll drain off the back of the screen. It's a tough shot. It's not quite a full one. She's taking it in low. Well played.
Hee-Wan Han, who made that short putt for birdie at 15 and now is at 19 under and 2 off the lead with her second shot at 16.
A very good shot, and if you look at the first page of the leaderboard here, Hee-Wan Han is the shortest driver by probably 15 or 20 yards statistically versus all those long hitters that are up there, Se Ri Pak, Sorenstam.
Yeah, she averages about 40 yards less than Annika Sorenstam. Our leader, her second.
She's just hit a nice little drive down here, about 280 yards. She only has 138 yards to the pin, and there's nothing in front of her at all. She should be looking to get one close. She has a pitching wedge.
Look at this golf shot. What a tremendous shot by Se Ri Pak. Grace Park at 15. This is her second at the par 3, 1 back of Se Ri Pak with the putter.
Yeah, she will putt, and it runs a long way over the fringe.
Look at this. Grace Park moves to 21 under, and for a moment, a share of the lead.
She said she would go for broke today. So far, she has done that.
Annika Sorenstam at 14 for birdie.
Good opportunity here, this putt, very straight.
My goodness.
It's just been one of those days,
Charlie.
Roger. She's had a lot of opportunities, hit a lot of good putts. Not many of them have found the hole.
1 birdie and the rest pars on this final round for Annika Sorenstam.
No, please.
16, this short putt. You see, Judy, that routine she does every time she gets ready to putt, stands in front of the ball. I guess maybe as she moves, the club visualizes the club going through the ball.
It's just different people have different pre-shot routines. You find one that works, one that's comfortable, one that gives you a feel for what you're about to do, and then you stick with it. You do it every time.
The birdie, and Se Ri Pak moves to 22 under, and her lead 1 over Grace Park here in the final round of the Safeway PING presented by YoPlay. The tee at the 16th, Grace Park.
Just wants to take this ball a little left to center, let it fade back into the fairway.
don't know if it comes across on your television screen how strong Grace Park is, but she is very strong, hits the ball high and a long way.
And a few moments ago, this was the birdie attempt for Hee-Won Han.
This was really not a makeable putt. She was just trying to leg it.
Yeah, well done there. She'll remain at 19 under, 6 under on this final round. And she has been impressive in final rounds. We saw her at the Wendy's back in Columbus, Dublin, Ohio last year with a great final round.
Well, Se Ri Pak, the lead is 1 over Grace Park. Sorenstam and Han 2 back. In 1994, Laura Davies began a string of victories at the Safeway PING. Her second straight win at Moon Valley Country Club came in '95. In '96, Davies' winning at Phoenix was starting to gain some attention. Then in '97, Laura Davies could make history as the first woman to win an event in 4 consecutive years. It took Laura a final round 69 and a 1-hole playoff to get the win, as she became only the 3rd golfer to win 4 consecutive years, joining Gene Sarazen and Walter Hagen in the record books.
And Laura Davies for her par at 18, began the day at 11 under. And that's Laura Davies' final round 70. We should add that at Bay Hill today, Tiger Woods made it 4 straight, won by 11.
In fine fashion, I might
won
say.
by 11, and apparently wasn't feeling too well, and still won by 11. Out to 15, Annika Sorenstam.
Par 3 playing 182 yards. This is 7-iron. Boy, this headed a little right of the flag, Roger.
Well, we haven't seen that very often this week, Charlie.
No, we haven't.
Annika 3 back of our leader, Se Ri Pak, along with Hee-Won Han. They're both at 19 under. Grace Park 1 back of Se Ri Pak. And for a look at 17, here's Charlie Reimer.
The 17th hole is a 368-yard dogleg to the right par 4. The tee shot is really the key. Anything that heads left could easily get wet. Hole location today, extreme left side. The pond that guards this green, very much in play.
Interesting Sunday hole location there at 17. Se Ri Pak.
Fairway metal off the tee, just looking for position. Bunker down the right side.
It's an anxious look right there.
Well, I did not see that ball finish up, and
That ball has found the water, Judy.
Oh, goodness. So Se Ri Pak at 17, a 1-shot lead over Grace Park, 3 over Sorenstam and Han. Has found the water with her tee shot at 17 as we go to the second for Grace Park.
With a 7-iron, 165 to the hole.
To 15, second for Annika Sorenstam.
And this is a very awkward play. She's got to go across this little mound right in front of her. It's going to jog the ball sharply to her left.
we didn't get it out nearly high enough, Charlie.
Well, a little surprised she didn't pitch that ball. She could have taken that mound out of play. The wedge, Judy.
That's why I like greens that are manicured in this fashion, because you see all kinds of shots played, and you get to see what a person's decision-making process is.
Well, Se Ri Pak at 17, and Pearl, what was the situation there off the tee? We saw the tee shot. What was she trying to do, do you think?
Well, she set up at the left side of the tee box, and it looked like she was trying to cut a little bit, but it looked like she just came over the top, and she found the water. Unfortunately, she just can't really take a drop here.
With all the trees, Pearl, can she take the ball right at the hole location?
She does. She can. With her strength, she definitely can. She has, where she will be dropping, she has a 155-yard shot to the green, so that's, you know, like an 8-iron shot for her. But the problem is she's going to be dropping it in the rough, and, you know, with this extra carry in the front of the green to the pin, she's going to have to do a lot to stop this ball on the green.
Looks to be a pretty good lie and a little bit of an uphill slope. The most comfortable thing would be if she could throw the ball beyond the hole and bring it back just a little.
Yeah, it just depends on how it reacts out of that rough.
At the 16th, birdie putt for Grace Park.
From 27 feet above the hole. This putt should have a little bit of speed on it. And I know Grace doesn't know what has happened up ahead, but I would expect anyway that this sort of a putt she won't be too aggressive with. I think it'll be moving rather slowly when it gets down near the hole.
Good effort.
Just not enough. Now it's been the real strength of her game this week. 25 putts on Thursday, 26 the last 2 days. Annika Sorenstam for par at 15.
A good solid stroke. She has made quite a few of those putts inside that 5-6 foot range, and if she gets strong with those putts, I don't know how well she might play.
Remember Beth Daniels, second at 18. Beth 15 under for the tournament, 3 under on this final round. Very, very nice.
If we go back to Se Ri Pak, it appears as though she's called for a ruling because her foot is on the hazard line. If I am correct, the fact that the ball is clearly outside the hazard line is the only thing that matters in this case, but she wants some confirmation.
Oh, Se Ri Pak, a tee shot at 17, found the water. We'll be back with more of our final round coverage here from Phoenix in a moment. At the 17th, after hitting the tee shot in the water, this is the third for Se Ri Pak.
Well, Se Ri has 155 yards. She did confirm it with the rules official, and she did not have to redrop because her left foot was standing in the water. She had an 8-iron. Have a cut at it anyway.
Good shot, safe shot. She couldn't get too clever with it. The hole location being very near that water that fronts the green.
We have got NCAA Women's Championship basketball coming your way on ESPN2 tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Notre Dame, Arizona, or Weber State, Ohio State. ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPN Full Court, your exclusive home for all 63 games of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. And a moment ago at 18, Lorena Ochoa. This for birdie.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, no!
Well, I think she's had a great week. I think she's had a very enjoyable time playing well here.
Grace Park at the 17th.
Anything here between 200 and 230 yards is a nice position spot.
And ideally, you would find the right half of the fairway.
Absolutely.
Shot, Grace.
368-yard par 4.
And that is right down the right side.
Grace Park at 21 under, one back of Se Ri Pak, who has a long putt for par on the green there at 17, and Sorenstam and Heewon Han both at 19 under. At the 18th, Lorena Ochoa, this for her par, and a round of 66. How about that 14 under on the weekend, Judy?
64, 66 will get it most weeks, so you will be going to the bank.
Nice playing with you. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I enjoyed it. Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
She's a small little athlete with a big, deep voice.
And earlier, the birdie putt for Beth Daniel. Beth Daniel, birdie at 18, round of 4 under 68. So Beth Daniel currently in 7th place. Ochoa currently tied for 5th with Mounier LeBouc. There's a look at 17. Beautiful afternoon here in Phoenix. Little or no breeze at all. And Se Ri Pak, this putt for her par.
This is a downhill right to left putt. It's just one of those speed putt. You just have to find the right line. Unfortunately, she's made 2 mistakes on the 2 shortest holes on this 9.
Really big tactical error here, though, to hit the ball left.
I agree. I think she could have I think she was a little aggressive. She actually has a driving iron. She could hit about 210 yards, but she didn't hit that. She elected to hit a longer club.
How about this?
How about that? How about that? Se Ri Pak with the par putt.
I think that could be the championship right there.
My goodness.
Well, she's got a lot of experience, and she had to be kicking herself for that shot from the tee, but she kept her composure, and she can forget about it now.
So Se Ri Pak remains at 22 under, and her lead is 1 over Grace Park. Whew.
She's saying the same thing, Roger.
That's great stuff.
Thank you.
Well, Charlie, have you got your calculator out here?
Roger, she's hitting it so far, I can't even keep up with it. She's only got 111 to the hole on a 414-yard par 4. That's 303 by my calculation.
We see that 290 mark. This is one of the measuring holes. There is our 2 measuring holes every day in tournament play.
Well, she's got her middle wedge. You know she's taking dead aim at this hole.
Yep, good shot there. Giving herself another opportunity. At 17, it's a birdie putt for Hee-Wan Han.
Just a little shorter version of Se Ri's, but it had to have taken some wind out of her after seeing that putt drop.
Yes, no. Let's do that.
So the par there, and this young lady will remain at 19 under, 6 under on this final round. Well, welcome back. The final round of the Safeway Ping presented by Yoplait, the today's leaderboard there, and you see Se Ri Pak at 7 under, and with a close look at the 18th, here's Judy.
The final hole is 408 yards long, and it really can provide some drama at the end of the day. Players drive with water to the left. It's about a 215-yard carry over that water. There are bunkers to the right, but they really shouldn't come into play. With a good tee shot, it's going to be a short iron or a wedge into this green, but this is a very, very difficult green. Little collection area right in this area. A lot of balls will go there if you're not aggressive enough to get back to the hole location, and then the putt is really difficult. This is a new green this year. It has been one of the hardest holes on the golf course all week.
On the tee, our leader, Se Ri Pak.
Well, that was a great putt she had on the last hole. She's taking this drive. Probably just a little right of where she wants it. It looks like right side of the fairway. With this putt cut on the right, might be a little trickier today.
Put it in the left rough yesterday off the tee. I'm sure she was trying to find that fairway.
At the 17th, second for Grace Park.
with a 9-iron from 133 yards. And that is just into the middle of the green. Good, safe play. I just had talked with
Annika
Grace's
for birdie at 16. And goodness, just never got it on line.
Not a confident stroke at all. Looked like she was going to try to wish that one in the hole.
Well, on Friday she had birdied the final 3 holes. And a few moments ago, Patricia Mounier-Lebuc, long birdie attempt. So the birdie there at 16 moves her to 18 under and all alone in 5th place. Well, our ESPN National Golf Challenge, searching for America's best twosome, and I guess Fred Couples could be called the commissioner of this event, if you will. He's the spokesperson. It's a 2-person better ball handicap event, qualifying at 120 courses in May. Log on to ESPNGolf.com. They'll have the finals out at Los Canyons, Los Angeles. You get a trip to the ESPY Awards. It's going to be a great event.
A lot of people would love to do that, and a lot of people would hope that the spokesperson is there.
Yes. Well, let's take a look, Judy, as we run down. Great scoring conditions here this week. The players have taken advantage of it, and some really young players have come through in fine fashion this week.
Dorothy Dellison didn't have the best year last year after a very good couple of years, but she's coming back in fine fashion this year. Christy Kerr with a good week this week.
Pramana Sood, the young lady from Tulsa University in Enid, Oklahoma, with a terrific final round.
Kind of a page of veterans right there. Heather Bowie, though, who spent a little time here in the desert in her college years.
Suzanne Pedersen, a lady from Norway.
And now Grace Park getting ready for her birdie putt here at 17. I just saw her coach when she was here at ASU, Linda Volstead, and I said, do you think she knows what just happened here? And she said, I'm quite certain she does. She wants to know what's going on. So she should know that she needs this putt to tie Se Ri for the tournament lead. 25 feet, a little bit downhill, not a whole lot of break.
Get in the hole.
Keep going.
Grace Park tapped it in for her par to remain at 21 under and 1 back of Se Ri Pak. 6 under on this final round for this young lady who went to high school here in the area, Horizon High, and played her college golf at ASU. And at 18, the second for our leader.
Se Ri has 144 yards to the hole. She has a nice uphill lie, which will help her ball flight. Get that ball way up in the air.
It's a good looking swing right there. How about this result? What about this result?
Beautiful shot. You have got to be able to throw it up in the air, and you have got to be able to spin it to fly it into that green at that point.
I mean, it's part of the ball. It's just a bit strange. I don't know where you are exactly.
Se Ri Pak, 5 wins in each of the last 2 years, and said, I want to be #1 in the world, and she has gotten the attention here today of the #1 player, and she'll have a short birdie putt at 18 when we come back here to Moon Valley. And welcome back here, our final round coverage of the Safeway PING presented by Yoplait. And when the day began, Annika Sorenstam had a 2-shot lead over Mounier-Lebuc and 3 over Se Ri Pak, Grace Park, and Kari Webb. As we move to the 18th, Hee-Won Han, this young lady at 19 under, began the day at 13 under and just comes up short.
She had that shot from the rough and just couldn't control her spin.
Back on the tee, one off the lead, Grace Park.
And that's headed just down the left side of the fairway.
She averaged 263 yards off the tee last year in the 2002 season. That's just 1 yard behind Annika Sorenstam that we keep raving about.
Did
her
you ever
length.
think, Judy, that you'd see LPGA players headed over 300 yards?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. This is, it's legitimate and it's astounding to me.
Hee-Wan Han, it's a putt for her par.
Yes, Hee-Wan is still away. I think she's played great golf today, considering what kind of numbers Se Ri was throwing up there.
Yeah, but Pearl, what a great experience for her too, right? I mean, this has to be a great learning experience for her.
She is, but you know, Roger, she contended quite a bit last year.
Yeah,
so
lost in a playoff.
yeah.
Yeah, no question. But and the par there, so terrific playing. Final round 66, also a 66 on Saturday, 19 under. Hee-Wan Han currently tied for third. Se Ri Pak, 25 years of age, her 6th year on the LPGA Tour, looking, Judy, for her 19th victory.
It seems to me she just came to professional golf, you know, and she makes this putt, and unless Grace Park can hold it from the fairway, this would be number 19. All started with the U.S. Open win when she was just 21 years old. Playoff that kind of riveted the golf nation against Jenny Chisiraporn.
This is a fairly straight putt. It's just a little uphill and needs to be firm with it. So as far as I'm concerned, she won that championship on the last hole.
Birdie at 18 after the great save for par at 17. A final round, 8 under 64 equals the low round of the week for Se Ri Pak at 23 under par.
You know, a magnificent final round of golf, but she came to this final round knowing she was going to challenge the best player in the women's game, and she started doing it right from the first hole.
Our State Farm shot of the day will take you to the par 4 17th. And Se Ri Pak hit her tee shot in the water, her third to here, this for par. Terrific stuff here. Se Ri Pak. Final round 64. And welcome back here to Phoenix, Arizona. Our final round coverage on ESPN2 of the Safeway Ping presented by YoPlay. And Se Ri Pak went out and fired a final round 64. She's at 23 under par. And Grace Park, 2 back, needs to pull off a bit of a miracle right here, Judy.
Looking to hit it in the hole.
Oh, goodness. What a golf shot. Okay, Pearl.
Hi. It's a little bit noisy down here. I'm here with Se Ri. Se Ri, what a finish today. What was going through your mind on the 17th hole after that shot into the water and then after the great putt?
Well, I mean, actually, I got no idea. I don't know what I'm doing in a golf course, especially 17, but I pretty much on the tee, I just don't want to hit a 3-wood there. Mine was kind of a little missed shot from there, but I was thinking the third shot on the green, just all I need is just 2 putts from there, and then I can just think about playoff. And there's just no pressure on it, just do my best, and I read the right and read the break, and then kind of little, you know, pretty much I have a lot of confidence in there. And then suddenly just went in, looks like I make my day.
You look so focused out there today. You know, and you were preparing for the round on the driving range. You know, I know that you're wanting to win this golf tournament really bad. How does it feel if you're going to win it, unless Grace makes this putt here?
Well, I mean, I really am happy. I mean, especially suddenly I just proud of myself a lot. I mean, I really want to win this tournament, but suddenly I won, so it's pretty happy.
Thanks.
Well, Se Ri Pak, the final round 64 and the winner of the second event this year. Judy?
She didn't like her start last week.
No.
It didn't include playing on the weekend, but a new driver and some excellent golf took care of that.
Well, 25 years of age, 19th LPGA victory. She's got 6 international wins, and the 8th time she's won coming from behind. She began this day 3 shots off the lead. We talked at the top about we've seen good rounds this week. There was that really good round to be had, and she got it today.
That she did, and I think she spent some part of her career coming in kind of under the radar. When she came to the LPGA Tour, she spoke very little English. She was very young, 21 years old, had a lot to learn. She still came in under the radar today with Annika Sorenstam in the lead as we watch Grace Park with this little putt for 3. But what a great season this is laying out for the LPGA
absolutely.
Tour.
Absolutely.
Some great play. Annika Sorenstam is playing as well as ever. We have young players like Grace Park, and it's going to be very interesting.
Well, NCAA Women's Championship regional action coming up next on ESPN2 as Grace Park with this short putt for birdie, and she began the day at 15 under par. And takes the birdie at 18, 7 under 65. Final round for Grace Park, but Se Ri Pak, the winner here. The last 24 events on the LPGA Tour, 6 wins and 17 top 10. I want to remind you, more golf coming your way this next week. The Players Championship at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Thursday and Friday with SportsCenter at the Players Championship at 11:30 Eastern Time, and then the first major of the year on the LPGA Tour, the Kraft Nabisco Championship, Thursday and Friday on ESPN2 at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Annika Sorenstam just could not get the putter working today. And Se Ri Pak with the win, 100 points in the State Farm Series. So exciting stuff here on this Sunday at Moon Valley Country Club in Phoenix. For Judy Rankin and Charlie Reimer, Alice Ritzman, and Pearl Sin-Banani, I'm Roger Twabell. Thanks so much for being with us. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Se Ri Pak, final round 64, wins it here.